Alright, looking at number 1. The equations that I see here are y is less than negative x minus 24 over negative 3. Make sure you flipped your sign like I did. And the other one is y is less than negative 5x plus 6 over 3. Good on those? Now watch this. When you graph them, do either of these have a line underneath? No. So what kind of graphed lines will they be? Yeah, they're both going to be dotted lines. So can't be A, can't be C, because they have solid lines. And then when you graph this, let's see here. There we go. Yeah, if you said B, you were correct. My graph looked like that. Remember, you want the darkest blue. The darkest blue. What is that? What does the darkest blue represent? Where they overlap, where they intersect. Okay. So whenever we graph 2 or more equations, just to remind you, say you graph a line and a parabola. And these are equations, not inequalities. So where are the answers on this graph? No. That's where the answers are. The key idea here is that the solutions are wherever the graphs overlap. So if it's equations, they overlap at points. If it's inequalities, they overlap in sections on the graph. Thing does not want to work. That's okay. The darkest blue represents where they overlap, where both graphs cross over each other. Correct answer was B. On the EOC review, you should have done that. Coach, please. Yes, ma'am. Just for a second or for checkout? Yep, here it comes. Sergio, run down to the attendance office. Okay, you're going to come right back. Get this thing so nobody tries to kill you or anything. Okay, were you good on that? And good on that?
Yeah. I got to check. Oh, I probably won't hear y'all, man.
Yeah, I've got a ton of YouTube videos up. Y'all check it there. Okay. This is called quadratic regression.
What's the name of your channel, your YouTube channel?
Take one guess. Bingo. Regression. Watch out for these negative signs. That's the biggest thing here. Let's see. How do you get the line on there? Menu, analyze, regression, quadratic.
Oh, okay.
See, now mine disappeared. Menu, analyze, regression, quadratic. Remember, you want the simplest one that gives you these whole numbers. Say what? No, but you could have known it was quadratic because the highest exponent on all of these was 2. Remember, x squared means quadratic, x cubed means cubic, x to the 4th, like there's 4 quarters in a dollar, means quart. Okay? So that can give you a good clue as to which one it is. And then you just got to be careful. Got to be a precise mathematician. Watch out for the signs. Preguntas, question, nombre 2. Non, pas de question? Preguntas? Hola, señor, señorita, ¿cómo estás? Preguntas. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Take your warm-up, set aside, look at today's notes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got something new today. So, consider this problem. A square table seats 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you take 2 of them and put them together, you can get 6 people around. So 1 for 4. 2 tables, 6 people. Now, if you had 3 tables, you squeeze them all together, you got 8 people around. Here's my questions. I'm going to give you a minute just to think about it. However you want to. Figure it out. Just try to find some way to answer it. If I got 10 tables, how many people is that? Number 2, if I got 32 people to seat together, how many tables do I need? Try to figure it out. I'll give you 1 minute. There is no right or wrong answer. Just think. Try to figure it out. Alrighty. Any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Yasmin. How'd you get that? So what'd you do for 6? So 14. Okay, so how'd you get to 22? Oh, you said 20? My bad. Okay, 20. So for 7, you said what? For 7, you said what? 16. 8. So she sees a pattern here that every time it's doing what? It's increasing by 2. Okay, I like that pattern. So 9 would be 20. 10. Oh, so yeah, okay, so see, I did have it right. Look at that. I just choose to hear the right answer, even if you say the wrong answer. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. So you found the pattern, that's called extrapolating the pattern or stretching it to get to where you need to be. Okay. How'd you get that? Did you just kind of keep going until you got to 32? Cool. So you could, yeah, that's fine with me. How many tables? 16 or 15?
All you gotta do is multiply that times 2.
So you found another way, Eric?
2, yeah, 2, 8, 2.
Oh, 2x plus 2?
Your table is 8.
So the tables is x. So if you said 15, they said 15. So 15 times 2 is 30 plus 2, so 32. Okay, cool. So you might then be able to kind of write an equation that would give you an answer. That's cool. I like that. In fact, that's a pretty good idea, because do you think that every single time, is this possible? Do you think every single time you'll be able to just write out, you know, until you get the one that they asked for? What if I said, how many tables are needed to seat 548 people? Because you're getting married and you need to set up these tables for your wedding.
548 divided by 2.
Yeah, you need an equation, wouldn't you? Unless you want to sit here and write all these, you're writing these things forever. Nobody wants to do that. That's no fun. And there is an equation, and here's what the equation is. The nth term is equal to. I said the nth term so not the first term, not the second term or the third term, the nth term is equal to. So what I'm saying is, how many people will sit there? That's a to the nth. That's the nth term. The nth term is equal to the first term. That makes sense, right? A sub 1 means the first term, okay? That makes good sense. Hard to learn like that, Tyler. Come on now. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. Plus, now what was the pattern that y'all recognized right here?
2.
Positive or negative 2. Okay, so that does matter. And what we call that is the common. Why do we say it's common? Because every time it's the same. Because every time it's plus 2. So we call that the common difference. The common difference. It's what's always changing between each term. So it's in common because it's the same every time, and it's the difference because it's either getting bigger or getting smaller. That's the common difference. And what we do is we say the common difference, D, times one less than the number of terms. So if I say there are 23 terms or 23 tables, okay, then you would do one less than that. So how do we write that? What we do is we say n minus 1. One less than the number of terms. So n represents the number of terms. Now, if you memorize that, that's good. But what really matters is that you know how to use it. That's what really matters, is you know how to use this equation, this formula. Because this formula will be, you open up the EOC test booklet, and before you get to the questions, what is there? Yeah, there's like a reference page, right, with all your formulas on it, and this is on there. So you don't got to memorize it. So save your mental space for how to use it, not for memorize it. All right, so let's take a look at how we actually do use this. And here we go. We have number 3, a problem here. And here we go. A concert hall has 59 seats in row 1, 63 seats in row 2, 67 seats in row 3, and so on and so forth. Okay? It has 35 rows. Write a formula, a recursive formula, to find the number of seats in each row. That's part 1. Part 2, how many seats are in row 4? Part 3, which row has 95 seats? We're going to go one step at a time, and we're going to answer each of the 3 questions. Question number 1 was, write a formula. Okay, so let's go ahead and write a formula. We know it's going to start with a sub n. That's where we would plug in the number of seats that we have. Okay? And that's going to be equal to, what does this mean? Steak sauce? No.
term.
The first term. What's the first term in this problem?
59.
Yes, that's correct. It's 59 seats in the first row. So the first term is 59. Which is kind of funny because isn't there like Heinz 59 or something like that? 57, that's what it is. I should change the problem and make it 57 next time. So that I have A1, 57. I don't know. Try to get something else in there too. Some hot sauce. Make a secret problem within the problem. Now what do I do? Plus or minus? Is it getting bigger or smaller? Okay, so say plus. How much bigger is it getting? 4.
Yeah, plus 4.
Now, finish it off by saying 1 less than the number of rows.
What you mean, like 1 less?
1 less, that's why I'm saying n minus 1. Alright, step 1, write the formula. That's it. Now what you can do is, you can plug into this in 2 different places, okay? If you plug in over here, if you put the row in, if you put 9 in for n, that'll tell you how many seats are in the nth row. If you plug in on the other side, you put in 128, that'll tell you what row you're in. Okay? So the first question is, how many seats are in row 4? So we're going to take 4, we're going to plug it in somewhere. Where do we plug it in?
And
For-
number of times.
We plug it in for n, for the number of terms. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's solve. And now we're not looking for the nth term, we're looking for which term? The 4th term. So put a sub 4 equals. I meant to put this in a different color to make it easy for you. Why did I put 4 right there? This is the 4th row. Okay, so a sub 4 equals 59 plus 4. Okay. So I plugged in 4 for n. Now I'm going to plug 4 for n over here also. So what is 4 minus 1? Okay, let's just do that right now. Go ahead and just take care of that business right there. So the 4th row has how many seats? Use your calculator. 59 plus 4 times 3. 71 seats. Okay. So just before we get too far and finish it up, let's review what we've done. First, we wrote the formula. We used the nth term is equal to the first number, which was 59 seats, plus the common difference times 1 less than the number, or n minus 1. Okay. They're reading something together over there. We should say something together too, just to get back at them. Have a little competition. Next. This time I'm going to leave a sub n as it is. I'm going to leave the nth term right there. Because we don't know what that is. That's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out which row has 95 seats. So actually, where does 95 go?
And the number of times.
Guess what? 95 is the number of seats. So it goes out front. So the first row plus the common difference. Now, here's the question. Do we know what row yet? No, we don't know. So leave it as n minus 1. Okay, leave it like that. And guess what we're going to solve for? Solve for n. That'll tell you which row to go to. So, what would you do first here? You could distribute the 4, but you could actually save yourself a step. You don't have to do that.
Plus 1.
What's 95 minus 59? Correct. Can you remember what to do next?
Plus 1.
Nope. Divide by what?
6. 4.
Divide by 4, right? Because this says 4 times that. So the opposite of times is divide. So divide both sides by 4. What's 36 divided by 4?
9.
Yep, 9 equals n minus 1. What's last?
And then 1.
Yeah. Trying to get n by himself. So if I add 1 to both sides, what's n? N is 10. 10, what do we say here? 10, 10th row, that's correct. And that was also answer to the first question. So not bad. That's it. That's as hard as it gets. As hard as it gets. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more with you, then I'm gonna let you work. First, these kind of help you get set up for success on your own. So what they say is just find the common difference and write the formula. So for example, look at number 5. Okay. Now you have to be actually no, look at number 6. With these negatives, you got to be careful. So first of all, is it getting bigger or is it getting smaller? Awesome. If you can see that it's getting bigger, you have a good understanding. Remember, which one of these is bigger? Which one's bigger? Negative 50 is bigger, right? Even though it looks smaller, because it's closer to a positive number. All right, so what's our common difference here? Is it getting smaller? So positive 5. Okay, now you can write your formula and watch how easy it is. This is very, very simple. It always starts off with the nth term equals. And then you just plug in 2 things. That's all you got to do. You plug in 2 things. What's the first thing you plug in?
-17.
Why?
Because it's the first time.
Exactly right. Then what?
Plus 5.
Plus 5. What if the common difference was negative? What if it was negative? Then you would put minus 5. How do you finish it off?
Times n minus 1.
Times n minus 1. Okay? So 4 through 7, that's what you're doing. You're writing the formula. Some practice writing the formula. Then in number 8, you're going to use that. So we'll do one more together and then I'll let you work. Look at number 8. 8 says for each of the following, find the term named in the problem. So this says find the 20th term. Find the 20th term. So start off and say the 20th term equals. What comes first?
-29.
Bingo. And then what? Good. I heard a couple people say that. Add 10 each step, so yep, plus 10. What is n in this case?
20.
Okay, 20. So 20 minus 1. Or you could also just put 19. So the 20th term is going to be negative 29 plus 10 times 20 minus 1. Type it into your calculator. Yeah. A couple of y'all said 161. I agree. Okay. Preguntas. Yes, come here. How did I get 5 on number 6? As I go from negative 17 to negative 12, how do I get that? You add 5. To go from negative 12 to negative 7, add 5. Go from -7 to -2. Add 5. So at each step, the common change or the common difference is +5. So I made a +5 my difference. Look at that. Oh, goodness. They must have gave y'all turkey dinner lunch today. Okay, good job, good focus. Let you work. Hopefully you got about 15 minutes to finish up your homework. Hopefully you won't have much to do tonight.
This homework?
Rest of the page, front and back. Carlos.